Okay. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Olakoni Bolaji. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So this video is a continuation of a previous video. So please do well to listen to that previous video. I vlog about my relationship, about lessons from my life. I was relating to my relationship with God and singlehood, wifehood, motherhood, and so many other things. So I started this video about 50 interesting facts about me, and I'm going to continue it today. Okay, I'm interested in learning so many things that I have a hard time focusing my energy on any one thing. Yeah, I think I'm a multi-potentialite. Yeah, like I have so many interests, so many things I want to learn, and all of that. But I'm working on focusing on one thing at a time, and God is helping me. And also, what else? I love writing. It helps me to process my thoughts. Growing up, I wrote stories, I wrote poems, and I was always one who kept a journal. I think I said that in the last video. I keep journals a lot, and I love to write. Like I said, there's something for me about writing. That's why it's really difficult for me to transition into keeping online journals. Like there's really something for me about writing. And then I graduated from the university with a first class honor. That's a story for another day. Okay, but actually I've done a video on it before. I'm going to link it in the description box because it's actually a testimony. It was God that gave me first class and I did a video about it. So throughout primary and secondary school, I always got the first position. Yes, now I'm feeling myself. Oh yeah, now. Then I graduated with at least 9 awards from secondary school. I graduated with 2 awards from the university. Yeah, so okay, another very interesting thing. I'm a polydactyl. What does it mean to be polydactyl? That is, I have 6 fingers. Let me show you. Okay, you might not see because it's very tiny, but this is it anyway. In case you have not seen a polydactyl before, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this tiny one. So this is what happens when you have a baby and the baby is polydactyl. So they cut it, they tie a rope around it so that it can, so that blood supply can be cut off from the finger and then the finger can drop off, because it would be so abnormal to imagine if I had that extra finger just moving all around, And the polydactyl trait is highly heritable. Like it's very, it's a dominant trait, and I got it from my mom. And my mom is polydactyl. My grandmother, her own mom, is polydactyl as well. Those are the people I know. My younger sister is polydactyl as well. And I actually thought that my children will be polydactyl because that was what they taught us in biology, that it's a very dominant trait. And in fact, I told my husband that you've got no choice, your kids are going to be polydactyl. But lo and behold, my sisters and my brothers, none of them, none of them is polydactyl. The first thing my husband checked when we had our daughter, who was her fingers. Imagine, because I was like 100% sure. I told him, see, if you know you don't want polydactyl children, don't even move close to me. I was like, no, 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 they are not going to be polydactyl. Like, I thank God I didn't bet, but it was almost like we had a bet. I'm telling you, when the baby came out, the first thing he checked was, like, he checked her fingers first. He wanted to see if indeed she was polydactyl. So at that time, okay, I think when I was pregnant with my second daughter, I told him, okay, you see, this one is going to be polydactyl, but it still did not happen. And in fact, I don't know what happened. I also thought they were going to have my gap tooth, but none of them. Imagine, at first, my son deceived me. He had that stemmer thing when he was born, up to like months, and all of a sudden, in fact, I was happy. I think I even wrote the blog post about the fact that my son has that stemmer, but now I can't find it there. Like, it has disappeared. I don't know what's going on. Like, and that's actually my motivation for having more children. Like, I need a polydactyl, I need a dastema baby. Anyway. Okay, so another thing is that I'm a very hairy girl. You may not see this in this video, but I'm quite hairy. I have hair on my hand, I have hair on my legs, like I'm hairy. Hearing in the sense that not well, not so much, maybe compared to some people, but much more than a typical girl. And none of my children, none of them, at least for now. And you know, the funny thing is that it doesn't show so much on my head. The way I have it on my body, I would have thought that it would reflect on my head, but no. Okay, I don't look like any of my parents physically. Yeah, like if you see my mom, you might really feel like, okay, is this your mom? And same with my dad as well, but maybe I look like my dad a bit, I'm not sure. But as a child, people told me that I look like an auntie. No, no, because personally, I don't see any resemblance with her. My maiden name is Adameji, meaning two cutlasses. And okay, I cycled for 2 years when I did my master's in Netherlands, and I cycled for 2 years and I loved the experience. I'm hoping that I will start to cycle again soon. My worst habit is picking my skin. Oh my god, but I'm actually really working on it. It's been a while I picked my skin. Yes, it's like really been a while I picked my skin. Yes. And that's why I don't have spots on my body again. Before I used to have a lot of spots on my body, especially my legs, because I pick it a lot. But right now I have a very fresh skin because I no longer pick my skin. Yes. Okay. The coldest temperature I've ever stayed in is -22 to -30 degrees Celsius. I dread living in those countries, and I think that was when I visited Finland. Yeah, Northern Europe, Finland, Sweden, Estonia. I visited those countries some years ago when I had when I had my masters in Netherlands. So from Netherlands, I visited those countries. And those were the coldest temperatures I ever experienced. Like I don't like it. I hate cold, seriously, and that's actually why I'm dressed this way. Okay, my favorite subject up till now is mathematics and anything for qualitative reasoning. Anything qualitative reasoning. Like I love mathematics, and I know mathematics. I know maths. You can give me maths like up till now, as old as I am like this, I'm going to solve it for you. I'm going to pieces it. Don't try me. Okay, I wish I had a girl child that looks exactly like me. Okay, let me give you this gist. Actually, growing no, not growing up. I actually, when I met my husband, my fiance, and when you think about your children with your future husband, you know, I desired that. Of course, I knew that I was going to have a girl child, and my desire was that my girl child should look like my husband because my husband is fine, finer than me, in quotes. But now we are not competing, we're not on the same level, and in fact I'm not even finer than him. But that time he was finer than me, I cannot lie. So I always feel like I prefer that my girl looks like my husband because she'll be very fine. That was my reason. So I even prayed about it, like God, just let her look like her daddy. And God answered my prayers, good father. And she looks like him. But now it used to pain me. I really wish I had a girl that looks like me, like it's my carbon copy exactly. But I think my boy looks like me, sha. So compensation. My first job ever was teaching in a primary school. I had 6 A's and 2 B's in my WAEC results. Yes, so I cry a lot. This one, hey. I cry a lot whenever I have to leave people that I've spent so much time and I've bonded with. Ha, this one, like I cried. Okay, let me give you this gist. When I was in secondary school, yeah, when we were leaving secondary school, valedictory service. I remember the song. The world seems so funny that we don't understand. Today we meet and tomorrow we part. Such is the meaning of life. This might be the last time. Even singing that song is making me to remember those times I wanted to cry. We will meet again. Today we meet and tomorrow we part. What is the meaning of life? That was the song we sang during our valedictory service. I think we SS3 pupils. I cannot remember when I was leaving primary 5, but I remember the SS3. I cried. Like hey, I cried. As if we were not going to see. As if we were leaving the world. That was the way I cried. I cried. And same as when I was in the university, I was an exco in the university then. I remember the last exco meeting we were going to have, the last exco meeting we were going to have before graduation. I cried. My friend then that were together in the exco meeting, and she was my best friend then. She was wondering, I think she's this very non-emotional girl. She was wondering, like, why am I crying as much as are we leaving the earth? Are people dying? Like, that was the way I cried. Oh my god, that was in the university for my bachelor's, and now my master's. Hey, when I was living in Netherlands, my friends actually had a meeting in my room. It was a crying meeting. Like, I cried that night. I cried to the point that when I got, in fact, when I got back to Nigeria and I saw my family members, I've not seen my family members for 2 years, but I could not cry again. I just felt like it's better I don't cry again, so that I don't injure myself. Like, that was why I cried. Like, I decided, in fact, when I got to the airport, I had cried everything in the middle of the night that they stayed with me, such that when we got to the airport in the morning, when those of them that followed me to the airport, I could not even cry again. I was just looking at them like this, that you guys, bye bye. I cannot cry again. By the time I saw my family members, I saw my friends, I saw my parents in Lagos, I could not even cry again. I was just laughing and hugging them. Like, that was how I cried. But now I've started talking to myself like, all this crying is that they're actually not necessary. I have to calm down on the cry. So right now, although it's been a while I've been in that situation where it's been a while, yeah, it's been a while I've been in that kind of situation, but I think I'm not going to cry as much as I used to cry before. Like, Agba today. Some interesting moments in my life. Every day with my family. Yeah, every day with my family is interesting to me. And my time at Wageningen University, like, I enjoyed my time. Of course, I enjoyed my time when I was during my bachelor's as well. They were very interesting moments, but I enjoyed my time in Wageningen University as well. I enjoyed my time with my friends, my church. I mean, it was amazing. And then my most embarrassing moment in life. This is another gist. The most embarrassing moment in my life happened when I should be around 6, 7, or 8. I can't remember when exactly, but I knew that I was already conscious of myself. And what happened was that, this gist, should I actually say this gist yet? Okay, I fell down in front of my male friends, and I didn't have panties on. I was around 6, 7, or 8. I had a gown. I was putting on a gown. Okay, so this was what happened. I went to visit, not visit. I think when my parents go to work, we stay in a neighbor's house. We get so with their kids, so we play together. So my my neighbor's kids were around with their cousins as well. Get so all guys, and then they also had females, but I remember that the dad was going out, and all of us, we were all running to open the gate, and me too, I was not putting on panties. So that was, I was also running with them. Pum, 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 pum. That was how I fell down. My gown lifted up, and I was embarrassed of myself. Up till now, I think I was around 6 to 7 that day. I still feel embarrassed when I remember that day. Unforgettable day. There are several of them, but the most recent of them was the day I became a mother. One of my role model is Priscilla Shira. I love her so much. And then there are several Nigerian women that inspires me. Yeah, DDK, Funto Iboye, Laju Hiren, Bumi Hodwa, Oluseyi Ashiru, Detola Amure, Olubola Adeyele, my mentor, Jacqueline Oludimu, Hepzibah Francis, and several others. Actually, I have several women that really inspires me, that I want to be like them. I love them so much, even though I've not met them. But out of the names I've mentioned, I have a personal relationship with one, a very personal relationship with one, and I know one, but not so much of a personal relationship. But every other one, um, I don't have personal relationships with them, but I follow them from afar, and I listen to them as well. I'm very open to trying out new things. I'm tech savvy. Yeah, I'm tech savvy to some extent. Like, I build my blogs using WordPress anyway. and I design my things, I create, I love to create, I'm innovative, I'm an idea junkie as well. My husband calls me kerosene. I could go a long time without sleeping and still be fine. Yes, so I could go a very long time without sleeping and still be very fine. But by the time, so I could sleep like 2 hours today, 2 hours tomorrow, 2 hours next tomorrow, and I sleep 2 hours today, and then the following morning I'm still up and doing. I'm still very fine. Tomorrow again, I sleep 2 hours, and I'm still very fine during the day. But by the time nature calls for that sleep, you can find me sleeping like 24 hours at a stretch. I think that actually happened before when I was in the uni. I slept for, I had missed sleeps for quite some days, and by the time I was going to sleep, I slept for a very long time, more than 12 hours. That my roommate, they said they were pouring water on my head, and I didn't wake up. Like they were scared, they thought something bad had happened to me. It was like that. I didn't wake up until they said they shook the bed, they did everything. I didn't wake up until when I wanted to wake up. That was when I woke up. And my husband is like an exact opposite of me. I'm a deep sleeper. Yeah. I can sleep in any condition. I can sleep on the water. I can sleep on the floor. Like once I want to sleep, I just sleep. I can sleep without light. I can sleep with light. I can sleep in silence. I can sleep in noise. I think it's just maybe a gift that God gave me to balance for my, my sometimes having short sleep, such that I have short sleep. By the time I want to sleep, if you like make noise, if you like anything, I'll just sleep. If you like bang the door from today till tomorrow, until when my body is ready to wake up, that's when I wake up. And thank God for an exact opposite husband. So my husband is such that. So most of the time, all those middle of the night things, I'll just wake up in the middle of the night, tell me how that, of course, when I was breastfeeding, it was different because like I needed to be physically present. But the things that I don't need to be physically present for, I'll just be hearing in the morning how that Grace and Emmanuel wanted to drink water in the middle of the night, wanted to do this, wanted to do that, how that they pulled, how that they cleaned them up. Yeah, I did not know any of those things, how that they were disturbing. Yeah, I was asleep. And then things that I've learned before, playing the guitar, yes. I think that was I bought a guitar in 2013 when I got my first job, my first salary. That was my first gift to myself. I got myself a guitar, and I learned it for quite some time, and I was playing. But at the moment I don't have a guitar, but I still intend to buy, because I gave my brother my guitar, but I still intend to buy another guitar very soon. And then I learned sewing as well when I was in secondary school. No, when I was in the university during strikes, I would learn sewing. I learned bead making as well. I learned fireworks making as well. I learned making of cake and pastries as well. And I am a published author. I wrote my first book in 2020, Mother and Daughter. It was a book that I wrote sharing my experience of how I teach my daughter about her realities in Christ Jesus. And then from the book, I also published some flashcards. And in 2020 as well, I wrote another book, Scriptural Confessions for Children in Different Situations. And this year, I've written a book, Abba's Daughter. It's not a book per se, it's like a journal. And I've also written a storybook for children, the story of Jack. And at the moment, I'm writing a book, 365 Days of Praying for Your Children. And by God's grace, it's going to be out before the end of the year. So, published offer. I have some of my books on Amazon. If you want to purchase them, you can go to can put my link in the description box actually, so that you can check them out. So that will be all for now. Which one did you find most interesting? Which of them resonates with you? Kindly let me know in the comment section. I'll be waiting for your feedback. Thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. God bless you, and bye bye.